I'm sure not many people, because not many people understand the significance and the importance of a library. Let me put it very clearly. A library contains books, contains research materials, contains documents, historical facts, things that are necessary tools for the trade of making laws. Many people may not know that the biggest, the most celebrated library in the world belongs to a legislature, and that is the US Congress. All over the world, people troop into the US Congress Library. What you can't find anywhere else, you'll find in the US Congress Library. And that just underscores the importance of a library in lawmaking. And it has always been disheartening for me that perhaps the biggest, we boast of being the biggest country, the largest legislature in Africa, and the most basic tools that we need to do our work, or the most basic building that is needed to do our work, the library, we don't have. And that is what birthed the committee that is here today to launch the trust fund. The National Assembly Library project is one of the most important and ambitious initiatives in this 9th Assembly. We have set out to build a legislative library, archive, and research center comparable to any that exists anywhere else in the world. It is our vision that when this library is complete, it will dramatically improve the legislative capacity of the National Assembly by providing legislators and their aides with the resources they need to conduct thorough research and advance policies that serve to make our world better. The National Assembly Library will host professional development programs that attract some of the best thinkers and experts from across the world. Public dialogues and other civic engagement programs organized through the National Assembly Library will help improve the public's understanding of the legislature's role in our democracy. In addition, the National Assembly Library will house the National Assembly Museum and a digital archive of our nation's democratic journey thus far. These are enormous ambitions, and like with all such historically significant endeavors, it requires the sacrifice of time and resources. It involves collaboration among stakeholders and partnerships with those who share the vision of what we hope to achieve. We have a lot of work ahead of us. First, we must see to it that we complete the construction of the project within a reasonable time. Then work together to launch the library and commence the programs we hope to implement from there. Alongside all of this, we must articulate a statutory framework for sustaining the future of the National Assembly Library. For that purpose, we have convened here today to consider the bill to establish the National Assembly Library Trust Fund. And this bill seeks to define the funding sources, administrative operations, and management of the National Assembly Library, and to ensure thereby that the library from inception and through the years will remain a center of excellence according to the vision we have for it. The bill as it is a proposal, a statement of our intent, and it makes its way through, as it makes its way through the legislative process, it will change in substantive ways and it will improve substantially. By the time we arrive at the final version, I fully expect that we have a bill that is clear in its intent, confident in its mandates, and innovative in the solutions it proposes. This goal is only possible if all those who share the vision of what we hope to achieve with this project work to critically examine this legislation and make well thought out recommendations based on considerations of our national best interests. This is one of those times when success depends entirely on our ability to work together in the spirit of cooperation and shared sacrifice. With what I have seen thus far, I have faith in what we can achieve together. For me, when I look to my left and to my right, it gives me confidence that this project is already done. The members of this committee were carefully selected, deliberately, painstakingly, based on many parameters. and have every confidence that this committee, as strategic as it is, as important as it is, will deliver even beyond our wildest expectations. I encourage all of you who have gathered here today, members and visitors alike, to take advantage of the opportunity to engage each other constructively, speak freely and with wisdom, articulate ideas and make recommendations to ensure this bill becomes law and achieves its purpose. The House Committee on Library Research and Documentation, led by Honorable Gaza, and their counterparts in the Senate have done an excellent job in advancing the National Assembly Library project. And on this bill, I commend and thank them for their efforts. I encourage them to keep at it, knowing that with this project, they have in their hands a unique opportunity to distinguish themselves and secure their place in the history of the National Assembly and of our Republic. This library will be a legacy of the 9th National Assembly, and one we all will be proud of. We have to put behind us a statement of fact, which is a statement of fact today, but hopefully will no longer be a statement of fact by the time we're done. That the National Assembly of Nigeria, that prides itself to be the biggest legislature in the world, does not have a library. That is a statement of fact, but that is a statement of fact that will become history in the near future. Thank you all who have taken the time to be here today to participate in this hearing and contribute to this legacy project. I wish you fruitful deliberations. God bless you, and God bless our Federal Republic. Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker. On the inauguration of this committee 2 years ago, we decided to take a more methodical look and approach by embarking on extensive research and wide consultations on how not just to provide a library structure, but also put in place measures and policies that will sustain and maintain it, even when we are long gone. A legacy for the future generations to come. It is on this premise that the committee found it pertinent to create and establish a National Assembly Legislative Library Trust Fund that will be governed by a Legislative Library Trust Fund Board. It will function as a federal governing board existing for the sole purpose of acquiring funds through grants generously donated to the National Assembly Legislative Library Research and Resource Center by the National Assembly and interested parties, supporters, such as well-meaning individuals, the public and private sectors, as well as international donor organizations and countries. The board will also have the authority to reinvest, and retain investments of such donations on behalf and to the benefit of the Legislative Library Research and Resource Center, which is the National Assembly Library. In view of the aforementioned factors, the committee hereby sets out, among others, to hold this public hearing and receive memoranda and inputs from stakeholders, and in the course, ascertain the best methods that will facilitate the establishment of this trust fund. We shall, in the course of this program, ensure that we diligently get through our set agenda and action plan by looking into important issues, some of which will include receiving relevant contributions and documents as regards to the subject matter, to mention a few. Please be informed that the committee has a dedicated secretariat to do this. Honorable colleagues, invited guests, and the press, it might please you to know that the United States Congress passed this legislature in the 3rd day of March, 1925, which is to say we're about a century behind. On this note, may I conclude, and for us not to be downcast, that it is never too late to do the right thing. As we work towards putting our legislature and our nation on the world map by establishing a befitting library for the National Assembly, which shall be at par with other parliamentary libraries around the world, the onus lies on all of us citizens of this great nation to, in line with the vision of the leadership of the 9th Assembly, see that we put in place the necessary structure by creating a body with legal powers to act as a trustee of the funds. This will go a long way in the promoting activities of the library that are not within the scope of the National Assembly budgetary provisions, such as research grants and other intellectual-based programs. This speech will be incomplete if I do not specially acknowledge the vision and efforts of our Speaker, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, who also doubles as the de facto chairman of this committee, making me the assistant chairman. All thanks to him, the construction of the physical structure has since begun, and I believe will be complete in record time. I'm indeed grateful, Right Honorable Speaker. The country is actually proud of you. Mr. Speaker, we thank you. On this note, I wish to enjoin all the stakeholders here present to give full cooperation to the proceedings as we shall undertake this critical national assignment. Thank you for your attention and anticipated cooperation. May God bless the 9th House of Representatives, may God bless the National Assembly, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you very much. With this, I would want to call on His Excellency, the Right Honorable Speaker, for his remarks. You're welcome, sir.